thank you.
Mister, sebelumnya saya Niyama Rentiani izin untuk off kamera dulu, soalnya di sini sinyalnya kurang mendukung untuk on kamera, Mister.
Oke, silakan. Ini yang baru masuk ada 9, jadi baru 8 kurang Surya, baru 7 ya. Yang apa namanya grup 1 udah ada di sini.
Sudah, Mister.
Grup 1 Sandika ya. Grup 2 member grup 2-nya udah ada masuk sini. Grup 3
Sudah saya, Mister.
ya nih, grup 4 grup 2 sama grup 4 belum masuk ya. Oke, kita tunggu bentar ya. Ini lagi 5 menit. Nanti kalau memang apa namanya belum join, kita bisa mulai aja nanti. Oke, ditunggu dulu ya 5 menit.
Om Swastiastu, Mister. Tiang Surini, mohon
Ya.
izin off cam karena di rumah saya mendung, Mister. Sinyalnya kurang bagus.
Oke. 8. Ya, ada 8. Mungkin nanti sembari apa namanya teman-temannya masuk, kita mulai aja ya. Oke, adik-adik, today we are going to proceed for the next step for the critical reading model, that is was a discussion ya. Jadi kita akan mendiskusikan reading yang sudah kalian pilih. Kemudian di sini kita mau cari tahu sudut pandangnya, sudut pandang ya, point of view-nya dari si penulis itu. Apakah either dia setuju, agree, or dia tidak agree dengan dengan judul atau dengan topik yang sudah dia tulis. Okay. Now, because we have 4 groups, so there will be 4 presentation, just like what's that small presentations, yang maksudnya tidak terlalu detail, because we would like to have more discussion on that. Jadi nanti gini, adik-adik presentasikan, dijabarkan ini penulisnya siapa, judulnya apa, isinya apa, kemudian kalian kan sudah diskusi kelompok. Jadi kelompok kalian itu agree with that or not, gitu. Setuju dengan itu apa enggak, ya. Nah, setelah itu we raise for the for the class discussion. Jadi nanti kalau ada pertanyaan dari teman-teman atau dari saya juga, silahkan nanti di komen atau ditanggapi. Oke. Nah, jadi I would like to invite you, siapa yang sudah ready? Silakan. Oke, grupnya Santika ya. Grupnya Santika siapa aja? Santika.
Saya, terus ada Angga, Mister, sama
belum join ya?
Novita. Cuman mungkin Kak Novitanya masih ada.
3 of you, bertiga.
Yes, Mister.
Yes. Belum masuk teman yang lain. Okay, so how you will do the presentation? Would you like to share something or langsung aja, gimana?
Actually, we prepared the PowerPoint already, but I think it is too long. But I'll try to explain it briefly.
Oke. Sambil itu mungkin kamu bisa share begininya ya, readingnya, atau mungkin kayaknya kamu udah buat presentasi, bisa juga disampaikan, apa-apa. Okay, or later on at least you show the reading. Okay, go ahead, Santika.
Sebentar, Mister ya.
Okay.
Ya, ini masih persiapan, Mister, sebentar. Is my presentation? Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so thank you so much for your time. My name is Santi Keasa, so one of the Group 1 members. Today we would like to present what we have been read at the past few weeks related with mental health problems, entitled Stress During COVID-19 Pandemic, Mental Health Condition in Indonesia. So, so in this presentation, I have several friends that will help me to present to you about our materials, such as Imade Priya Anggara and also Novita Lena Jonata. So what will we discuss today? Firstly, we would like to discuss about the article information, which supposedly explained by Novita, but because of Novita couldn't attend today's meetings, I'm going to take her responsibility to explain that. And then the brief summary of the articles will be explained by Priya Anggara, and then our perspective about the article will be explained by myself. Firstly, we would like to discuss about the article information. Well, basically, as what I stated before, the title of this article is Stress During COVID-19 Pandemic, Mental Health Condition in Indonesia. So we will discuss about how the condition in Indonesia, basically how is the condition in Indonesia during COVID-19, basically about the increasing number of mental health disorder condition. And then the author of this article is Francisca Kaligis, Madira Tri Indraswari, and Raden Irawati Ismai. And the publication place of this article was in Medical Journal Indonesia. The date of publication was in 9th October 2020, and there are 6 pages in total of this article. All right, so for the brief summary will be explained by Angga. Angga, are you here? All right.
Today.
All right. So I'm going to explain this as well. Well, the brief summary of this actually there are so many points that I got from this article, but I concise it into several points, such as firstly, this article is actually raise awareness about mental illnesses that happens during the pandemic in Indonesia. The second point, there are several cases of mental health that we found in the article, such as feeling isolated and unable to socialize. There are so many misleading news or hoax news through the internet. There are also excessive fear of being infected by most people in Indonesia, as well as financial problem. Well, there are several stress conditions that may occur because of these causes or this factor, such as feeling fear about their health, unhealthy sleeping and eating pattern, worsening of chronic health problems, increased intake of alcohol, smoking, and other substances. And the fourth point is, because of the image of stigma against patients who are infected with COVID-19 and medical personnel that cause social rejection. The fifth point is because there are so many stigma against the patient who have been infected by the coronavirus disease, World Health Organization actually announced several guidelines of how to reduce this stigma, such as firstly, it is very inappropriate for us to add the ethnicity to the virus name. So we don't need to add ethnicity to the virus name, such as Wuhan virus or Indonesian virus and so on. And then it is very restricted for us to use the word of victim for infected people or for those who are working in the frontliner field, which is the nurse and the doctor who handle the COVID-19 pandemic itself. And then we also need to focus on spreading accurate information in terms of positive information based on the reliable sources. And lastly, we need to talk positively about prevention action. And the sixth point, Kemenkes or Indonesian Ministry of Health have issued several counseling service called Sejiwa, and Cipto Mangunkusumo Hospital developed a facilities called Pojok Sahabat to provide more counseling to individual and families who experience mental health problems. And the seventh point, Perhimpunan Dokter Spesialis Kedokteran Indonesia, Jiwa Indonesia, have conducted several research regarding the symptom of mental health in Indonesia that came out as a result of several symptoms that usually experienced by most people in Indonesia of the mental health disorder, such as firstly, excessive feeling of anxiety, irritability, difficult to relax, sleeping and eating problems, lack of self-confidence and fatigue. And for the last point that we got from the article, there are several ways that we can implement it in order to maintain our mental health based on the Indonesian Psychiatrist Association, such as firstly, we need to limit our self from the massive exposure of COVID-19 information. We need to also take care for our body and health by performing lots of relaxation activities such as yoga and also going out to relax our body and also our mind. We also need to provide sources of support to help reduce mental health problems. For example, the knowledge from social media, we can share lots of knowledge if we competent to share it. So, and we also can provide further help by joining the organization or raise awareness to increase other people awareness as well about how important it is to keep the mental health disorder, mental health condition during the COVID-19 pandemic. And we also need to keep our communication with other people about if we do have any problems related with the fear during the COVID-19 pandemic itself. Those are several points that we got from the article. And now, here is several opinion that, sorry. So this is our opinion about the article. So actually we divided our opinion based on several point of view. The first one is the content point of view. Based on our opinion, based on our group opinion, the content that delivered, the author conveyed the message inside of the article very well. With a great structure and clear content, start from the background of the study, start from the background of the problems of what the things that causes COVID-19, and then the reality in the field, supported by the research conducted by Indonesian Doctor Association, as well as the solution provided. And then the second one is there are so many factual and reliable reference sources provided inside of this article that can support the point of view of the author. And the second opinion is based on topic point of view. So based on our opinion, because of we've been in the hard moment of COVID-19, this article is really great article and very informative topics, which is in accordance with today's information needs, because we can collect so many information in this article, not only when we are facing hard time in dealing with mental health disorder during COVID-19, but we also can implement it all of the ways of how to deal with COVID-19 afterwards, not only in the pandemic era. And the third point of view is based on diction point of view. We think that the selections of the diction that is attached inside of this article is really simple and easy to be understood. And there is no elusive word terminology regarding the article. So it is very easy for us to understand the article, the whole parts of the article in the first attempt of reading the article. And the last point of view of our opinion is from the solution point of view. As we stated before, there are so many reliable and factual sources that the author tried to attach inside of the article. So it can be a very applicable solution equipped with many mental health treatment options for those who need further information about how to handle the mental health disorder, such as service provider organization. As what I stated before, there are Sejiwa that created by Indonesian Health Ministry, and also Pondok Sahabat that was created by Mangunkusumo Hospital. And there's also so many ways of how to handle how to handle the hard time, how to handle the mental health disorder based on the reliable sources. Well, based on the brief summary and then our opinion about the article based on several point of view, here are several opinion based on our perspective. Well, we are actually agree with the article and some statement of the author that stated what is the main reason of the COVID-19 pandemic can contribute to a downfall of the mental health disorder for so many people in Indonesia. We are agree with all of those, especially because all of the argument inside of the article supported by so many reliable and also factual sources. So here are several of perspectives of our group. The first one, as what I stated before, there are so many reasons why the mental health disorder can be one of the serious problem during COVID-19 pandemic. The reason such as, firstly, misleading and fake information, excessive fear of being infected, economic downturn, because of there are so many integral sector was slapped by the COVID-19 pandemic itself, and until our economic sector have been in the position of -2% in the early quarter of 2020. And then those are some triggers for mental health problems and harmful stigma. As what I stated before, stigma is very bad for the community, not only for the people who have been infected, but also for the frontliners who fighting for the health, for the rescue, for the rescue of the patient who have who infected of the COVID-19 viruses. So we need to remove all of this stigma by not linking ethnicity as the causes of the pandemic. For example, if we see there are so many data in Indonesia stated that Indonesia has lots of people who have been infected by coronavirus. So we could not judge Indonesian by a country where its viruses belongs to. So never attach any ethnicity or a country or region to the virus name, such as Indonesian virus or Wuhan virus, just coronavirus. And then we need to think positively about this pandemic and always implement it, the healthy lifestyle, as what I stated before. We need to embracing each other by not categorizing and also differentiate people just because of they have been infected by COVID-19. We try to remove them from the social interaction. It will definitely affect their mental health disorder and create another big stigma. We need to spreading accurate and factual information regarding COVID-19. And then for the third point is we need to filtering information, doing positive activity, maintain a healthy lifestyle, and keep the communication positively to prevent the mental health disorder, which will work for individual or for families. And the last one is we also think that during the COVID-19 pandemic, there are so many people who already have mental health problems previously, or they have their history of mental health, would probably increase their depression or anxiety feeling. So we suggest that for those who have been infected by mental health disorder, need to follow the medical checkup or a counseling continuously or regularly to decrease the impact of depression that they might got during COVID-19. So this is the last things, because we are definitely agree with all of the argument inside of the article. There are several ways that we can that we should do as a millennials and young generation based on our perspective as well, regarding how could we deal with the COVID-19 pandemic in terms of dealing with the mental health problems, such as firstly, we need to be a wise and smart social media users, because nowadays social media is one of the biggest platforms that can contribute so many things to our everyday life. But there are so many information that can provocate can provocate us. Benar ya, misal?
Provoke.
Oh yeah, provoke, sorry. There are so many news that can provoke us to do certain things that is not really in line with our norms, especially about the stigma that can create a social rejection for those who have been infected of COVID-19. And secondly, we need to don't be easily influenced by provocation and non-factual information. If you would like to search for information about COVID-19 or about the people who have been, the number of people who have been infected or the ways of how to dealing it, you can just go to the factual information sources such as the official website of Kemenkes or so on. And the third point, what we should do during this pandemic, during the past pandemic time, was supposedly we only need to trust reliable sources of information about COVID-19. We can see lots of information through social media such as Facebook, but we need to make sure that that information was factual and it is believable, so we can take a further action if it is needed. And then the fourth point is we need to doing positive activity, healthy lifestyle, and complying with the established protocol. It means that, as what I stated before, to keep yourself balanced and to make yourself in a good mood and keep your mental health condition, you need to do lots of positive activities to make yourself away from the negative things that can burden yourself and can provoke yourself from the misleading information inside of the social media. You can go for a walk, do exercises, and then keep a healthy diet and so on. And the last point is, as the millennials, we think in our group, we need to give a contribution in accelerating the recovery of COVID-19 pandemic, whether it's through organization, by participate as a speaker for about how to deal with COVID-19 pandemic mental disorder, if we do have the competencies to do that so, or through the social campaign or project to help for those who are in need. Well, those are our presentation, our point of view about the mental health disorder that happens in Indonesia, and we all agree about the argument well structurally delivered, and we are so happy that we have the chance to read that articles. So if you do have any question, please feel free to ask.
Fortunately, Angga, it cannot change today, and also job is who's the other one? Your member, Novita. Ya? Okay, that's very brief, and also it's already answered all of my questions actually. What should be raised in your discussion session. Nah, sebenarnya yang tadi untuk yang what should we do-nya itu maunya sekarang dibahas, tapi ternyata sudah dibahas sama kelompok 1. It's really good, really good. Now let's go for the class discussion. Is there any questions? Or jadi pertanyaannya ini boleh bahasa Indonesia, boleh bahasa Inggris, ya free ya. Jadi boleh regarding to the content, isinya dari artikel atau bacaan yang disampaikan tadi, ataupun tentang point of view-nya dari kelompok 1, atau juga bisa raising idea or suggestion. Kalau mau memberikan suggestion juga boleh tentang artikel itu. Silakan.
I have a question, Mr.
Who is this? Surini ya? Oke, go ahead Surini.
Jadi untuk presentasi dari kelompok Santika itu sudah sangat bagus sekali. Mulai dari PowerPoint-nya itu keren banget. Saya mau bertanya kepada Santika, bagaimana cara mengatasi permasalahan mental yang disebabkan oleh pandemi COVID-19, misalnya orang itu sudah mengalami permasalahan di mentalnya gitu karena si pandemi ini itu gimana caranya? Terima kasih.
Thank you, Surini. Ini langsung dijawab, Mister. Surini, should I answer in English or Indonesian?
Bebas.
Okay.
Kalau bisa campur ya.
Okay, so yeah, okay, bilingual. Well, basically, how could we deal with people who have just been infected by mental health disorder? Actually, sebentar, Mister. Kedengarannya suara motornya.
Saru sih.
Oke, kalau gitu. Well, actually, based on my point of view, as what I stated before, to rescue someone who have just been infected by mental health disorder, it's actually very hard because of we need to we are actually need to conduct a further test to make sure and to make sure if this person is really infected by mental health disorder. Jadi pertama itu kita harus melakukan tes yang benar-benar bisa menunjukkan bahwa orang ini tuh benar-benar mempunyai masalah mental gitu. Because when we talk about mental health, there are so many symptoms that we can actually see from outside of the from the outside of the people who have just experienced mental health itself, such as firstly they probably act like confused, dia itu mungkin bingung gitu, and then they feel so isolated from the social interaction because of the long isolation time, and then the people who have experienced mental health disorder may don't have a great eating pattern and also sleeping pattern. Jadi dengan tidak memiliki tidur yang cukup serta makan tidak cukup, itu juga akan mempengaruhi their physical stamina fisiknya yang terlihat dari misalnya wajahnya yang kelelahan dan sebagainya. Jadi cara pertama itu, the first ways is we need to make sure that this person is really have the mental health disorder, atau ada hal lain yang membuat dia itu kemungkinan seperti itu gitu. Mungkin kita harus melaksanakan further test, kita harus kontak psychiatrist atau another organization to make sure that this person is really infected by mental health problem or having mental health problem. Setelah benar-benar dari hasil tes menunjukkan bahwa orang ini tuh menderita gangguan kesehatan mental, hal yang selanjutnya yang bisa kita lakukan secara medis adalah melaksanakan kegiatan misalnya bisa konseling, entah dengan para ahli atau entah dengan dokter yang memang basically have experience in it or competence in it, atau juga kita bisa melaksanakan kegiatan pengobatan dengan cara-cara tertentu sesuai dengan metode yang disarankan oleh psikiatris itu sendiri. Cuman kalau misalnya mental health disorder-nya itu tuh masih kayak dalam tahap yang tidak terlalu besar, tidak terlalu berat seperti itu, masih tanda-tanda ringan, misalnya mengisolasi diri dan sebagainya, we as individuals, as a family, we can embrace them. Kita bisa rangkul dia, terus kita ajak cerita, kita ajak ngomong, kita ajak komunikasi, terus kita harus dekati dia karena untuk menangani masalah mental itu komunikasi adalah salah satu hal yang terbaik yang bisa kita lakukan. Kita bisa ajak dia untuk melakukan banyak aktivitas positif, lalu kita juga bisa memberikan afirmasi positif kepada dirinya, walaupun memang secara langsung itu tidak berpengaruh jika memang orang ini tuh sudah mengalami mental yang berat gitu. Jika kita tidak ingin membawanya ke psikiatris atau ke psikologis, ya benar, kita bisa selalu menemani dia di sampingnya dia, memberikan motivasi, afirmasi, karena dengan memberikan afirmasi ini itu akan kemungkinan besar akan dapat berpengaruh itu akan dapat tertanam dalam benaknya gitu, akan masuk sedikit tidaknya akan masuk ke dalam pikirannya. Jadi secara tidak langsung dia akan merasa dirangkul, dia akan merasa ada orang yang peduli dengannya, ada orang yang diajak komunikasi, maka selambat laun depresi ataupun anxiety yang dia rasakan itu juga bisa menurun seperti itu. Jadi mungkin kita juga bisa kolaborasi dengan organisasi setempat yang memang menyediakan pelayanan untuk konseling itu sendiri gitu. Kenapa ya? Halo, am I audible? Oh, udah. Terus ada lagi misal, mungkin kita juga bisa berkolaborasi dengan kayak organisasi yang menyediakan pelayanan konseling, contohnya kayak rumah sakit atau sebagainya, kayak di hotline tertentu. Jadi dengan bantuan profesional atau tenaga medis, mereka kan lebih kompeten dan bisa mendiagnosa apakah benar kita itu ada mental health problems atau tidak. Dan mereka kan juga bisa memberikan bimbingan yang lebih appropriate gitu untuk kita kalau memang dibutuhkan. Jadi jangan pernah kayak mengklaim kalau Anda itu memiliki mental health disorder atau problems sebelum itu tuh memang sudah secara medis itu dibuktikan gitu dengan sejumlah tes. Mungkin kalau memang mental health yang Anda bilang adalah mental health secara tidak terlalu berat, itu bisa disembuhkan dengan cara seperti yang saya bilang tadi, rangkul, komunikasi, afirmasi positif, laksanakan kegiatan positif, dan sebagainya. Tapi kalau memang sudah berat, dengan symptoms yang sudah berat sekali, kayak sampai muntah-muntah, segala macam, nggak mau makan, kurus, kering, itu harus segera dilaksanakan tes, dan ada further action dari orang-orang yang ahli gitu. Jadi kita tidak bisa menangani itu sendiri supaya tidak terjadi peningkatan tingkat depresi atau anxiety dari si pasien. Seperti itu. Itu sih Surini.
Oke, Koko, thank you.
I most welcome.
Is there any other questions for group 1? Or maybe you have suggestions related to what have been presented before? Okay, no. So,
Mister.
Yeah.
Saya ada tambahan lagi sedikit sih untuk jawaban Surini, saya lupa, Mister.
Okay, go ahead.
Untuk menangani mental health juga mungkin kita harus, ini kan menangani ya, berarti ini curative action-nya. Kalau preventifnya itu kan banyak, ini kuratifnya. Mungkin sebagai millennials, kalau misalnya kita itu punya apa ya istilahnya, kemampuan dalam bidang kesehatan, atau kita punya knowledge tentang mental health, dan itu bisa kita share seperti itu, entah itu ke publik ataupun entah itu ke mass media, secara positif, itu bisa kita lakukan gitu sebagai kontribusi kita untuk membantu menyebarkan informasi positif bagaimana caranya menghandle mental health disorder. Mungkin kan ada banyak sekali cara yang bisa kita tempuh, cuman kalau memang bisa kita jabarkan lagi cara-cara itu biar lebih aplikatif, mungkin melalui video, tutorial, dan segala macam, itu juga akan jauh lebih membantu. Karena sebagian besar masyarakat gitu ya, kalau misalnya kita suruh untuk buka web atau buka official Instagram resmi dari badan-badan terpercaya mengenai kesehatan, itu pasti mereka malas gitu. Tapi kalau mereka buka sosial media seperti Facebook dan sebagainya kan lebih aware gitu mereka, lebih sering gitu. Jadi dengan kita bisa berkontribusi untuk men-share informasi yang akurat, kontribusi kalau memang kita tahu cara untuk menangani dengan baik dan benar sesuai dengan prosedur, dan kalau memang kita tahu bagaimana caranya menanganinya, kita bisa share melalui sosial media kita. Jadi itu juga salah satu tindakan preventif agar orang-orang yang merasa dirinya itu tuh mental health disorder gitu, tidak mengklaim dirinya seperti itu kalau belum ada bukti atau symptoms yang jelas gitu, dan further action yang bisa diambil. Ya Wida, silakan Wida.
Okay, thanks for your presentation, Koko. It's very good presentation. But I have a question for you. So, based on your opinion, what is the relationship between stress and mental health?
Thank you, Wida. Indri, boleh langsung? Indri, do you want to ask my question?
Terima kasih atas waktunya. Presentasinya menurut saya sangat amat bagus, walaupun sendirian. Menurut kamu ini, apakah aksesibilitas pengobatan kesehatan mental itu setara dengan aksesibilitas pengobatan kesehatan fisik? Mungkin itu aja.
Thank you, Indri. All right, so I'm going to start from Vida. What is the relationship between stress and mental health? Well, actually, based on my opinion, stress is one of the symptoms that can be occurred because of the mental